So, Michael, as we make this video, we just got through election season. I know I got a lot of stuff in the mail, little postcards and such.
Hopefully we printed some.
Well, you probably did, no doubt. But, it's funny. You see the little postcards, and it doesn't seem like a lot because it's this little thing when I get it in the mail in my residence. As somebody who's planning a postcard campaign, there's a lot to think about. And you guys are able to help with all that. But
yeah,
what are some of the things that have to be thought of?
Well, who are you trying to reach? So what's your list? How many people are we trying to get to? What size do you want the postcard? So, if you're trying to send with a letter rate USPS, which is less expensive postage when we're doing standard mailing, you're going to want to do something that's usually from the size 4x6,
okay,
5x7, 6x9, or 6x11. 6x11 being the largest size that you can send out with USPS of a postcard to still get the less expensive letter rate instead of having to pay the flat rate, which is then, exponentially more expensive. So that would be what I would be concerned about if you're doing a postcard, to make sure you keep it under 6x11 in size, because when we're doing a project like this, especially with a postcard project, the printing is not the greatest cost. The postage is the greatest cost.
Right.
There's going to be mailing costs associated for us to process your list and to print that information with the barcode and all that onto your postcard. But if you're designing a piece, so obviously one side of the postcard, do whatever you want, right? Design the whole thing. The other side, which I would call the mailing side.
Okay, it's for address and
all that stuff. What I want is a 4-inch wide by 2-inch tall blank space, white space in the bottom right hand corner of that postcard. That is where we're going to put the information on there. We're going to put the barcode on there so that these postcards can be machined and go through the USPS machines so that they can have a lower cost on them. The other thing to think about when designing is the upper right hand corner will then either need a little bit of space for the stamp or what we call an indicia. Indicia just shows the post office what company is sending the postcard out and whose money they should take out to pay for the postage when it goes.
So some of that design is because that's the post office and needs it that way to go through the machines, and that's why they can charge a little less for the postage because it's all automated. But it needs to meet what their machines are doing, right?
Yes, because that stuff needs to fit in the right spot so they can just boop, 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 and put it through the Merlin machine or whatever, and it will just crank on through. Because otherwise, if you don't have that on there, they're going to have to look at every single one. And then you have to send it first class, and that is a lot larger of a cost than even a postcard bigger than 6x11. So for standard mailing, you need at least 200 addresses. So, and I'm talking all like you have an address list, you give it to us, we run it through the NCOA, we then print those on the postcards. For a first class job, you need over 500 or more entries in there that we're going to print on the postcards. So other than those two ways to send out postcards, the other option would be every door direct mail, which just means we're picking out different carrier routes through USPS and we're flooding that whole area.
Okay.
That way we don't have to print the address on it, so you have more space for your design on both sides. We just have to have, yet again, a little bit of space for the indicia, and then just a little blurb on there that says postal customer and some other information that the post office wants, but not much, because they're not scanning those. We're just packaging them the right way, giving them to them. They're handing them directly to that postal carrier. And those then have a lot cheaper rate because they don't have to run it through any of the machines.
And it's funny, you started this by saying one of the first things you need to know is who are you trying to reach, and now we understand why. Why? Because there's so much to do with what's going on at the post office, and that translates into what size is best that you guys have to do. And if you want to achieve something really good with your next postcard mailing, I'd suggest start by talking to this guy right here, Mike from Foot Printing. So your phone number, let them know right now.
216-431-1757.
You got a printing job? Put your
best foot forward for foot printing.
Foot printing! Always printing to do your foot printing.